For those of you who missed this week's episode of the Shadow Spark Chronicles, here's what's happened. We come back to a very confused bishop, not knowing the situation, where he's at, why he's holding a green crystal, and the party fills him in over what has happened in the last several days. The party decides to delve deeper into the crypt. However, they are blocked by a door with the phrase, "Only the unburdened shall pass." They see a slot on the front of the door and decipher that they need to put the shard into the slot to proceed further. Bishop hands the shard over, and the door opens. They eventually find themselves in a room with a large pool of acid. In a stroke of genius, Marsland uses a wall of force as a platform to cross with ease. However, they are met with a hallway of spinning blades. Marsland, still feeling confident from overcoming the last challenge, goes headlong down the hallway, nearly missing all of the blades. He stumbles onto a large pit and manages to fly over it. Bishop, in true dexterous fashion, safely dodges through the blades and leaps over the chasm, nearly falling in. However, Marsland helps him up to the ledge on the other side. Justinian makes it through and teleports across the chasm. Anaximander summons a fey steed to take Gwynton across the hallway, and Gwynton safely floats his way across with the help of Bishop. Finally, Anaximander mounts the steed and navigates the blades and jumps across to meet with the rest of the party. Thinking that the worst was behind them, they stumble into the next room, and what they see can be only described as a mausoleum of horrors. A room filled with blood with a lone goblet on an altar, and another locked door bars their way with a riddle requesting blood for safe passage. After a brief discussion, Justinian offers his blood to the goblet. They place the goblet in the door, which dumps its contents into the pool of blood, causing a minor explosion. The party dusts themselves off and proceeds further. However, the maladies persist as Anaximander and Justinian disappear right in front of the party. They find themselves separated and in a narrow maze. However, the party stumbles into Justinian shortly after. Marsland then finds himself in a gelatinous cube while Justinian, Bishop, and Gwynton fight for their lives. However, they win the day. But Anax, on the other hand, finds himself in a similar situation. Losing his light source, he finds himself in a grueling battle for his life against another gelatinous cube. Blind, he perseveres and proceeds on. The rest of the party eventually meets up with Anax, where they all rest shortly. They make their way into an ominous room with a giant imp on an altar holding an hourglass. Please join us every Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time as we continue with the ongoing adventures of the Shadow Spark Chronicles. And as always, we'll see you in the dungeon.